It is time for a lap around Monza, which is the host of the 8th and final round of the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup Championship. We're on board with the Linktree racing car of Harry King, who is the only driver who can deny Larry Tenforder the championship. He is 20 points adrift, but we've previously seen around this circuit that anything is possible in the Super Cup at Monza, and hopefully it'll be the case this weekend as well, as we blast down the iconic pit straight here at Monza, heading towards our first challenge of the lap. That is the Rettifilio chicane. Now, it won't fully be like this in real life. They've made it slightly wider to allow drivers to go wheel to wheel more easily and also reduce the risk of contact. We'll see throughout the weekend whether that works out or not. We'll be hoping it does, as that's our prime overtaking opportunity in the race in the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup. Now it's flat out through the Cara Grande in these Porsche 911 GT3 Cup cars, and we're getting focused on getting on the brakes for the second chicane now as well. Getting your lines perfect through this part of the lap is going to be critical, and you don't want to dip a tyre into the gravel on the exit. Running wide can cost you a lot of time through this section. Now the two Lismos coming up. First of all, Lismo 1, where it's going to be a flick all the way to the right hand side now, and then back on the power. Once again, don't run wide. Going wide and going in the gravel can cost you dearly around this circuit in all sessions, practice qualifying and in the race as well. We've got through Lismo 2. Now the Formula Series will be using DRS through this part of the lap. In the Super Cup, we do it the old-fashioned way. So if you want to make overtakes in the race, you're going to need to tuck in the slipstream and make some late braking moves as well. We currently, though, are making our way to the Ascari chicane. A fast part of the lap, getting it right, getting a good exit is going to be critical. It leads you onto the back straight, which ends the lap as well. We're heading to the final corner, which has had a name change to the Cairo Michele Alboreto. We still know it though as the Parabolica, which is where we are heading now, and it's going to be critical for the drivers to not mess it up. They've done the whole lap. It's been a challenging lap around this circuit in the Super Cup at Monza. You don't want to mess it up right at the end. Through the Parabolica we go, getting on the power. Don't run too wide. Bring it up to the gears now and charge for the line, and that is going to be a lap off this Monza circuit at the Temple of Speed. Welcome everyone to qualifying for the final round of the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup Championship. It is round 8 and it is time to set the grid. If Harry King is to beat Larry Tenforder in the championship, it all starts right here, right now, with a good qualifying performance. That is what he'll be hoping for, and what a circuit it is to go racing. We're doing that tomorrow. First of all, we're setting the grid though today with 5.7 kilometers, 3.5 miles for the drivers to navigate. Harry King holds the lap record, and he set that in 2022. 11 turns in total, lots of straights separated by chicanes, and it's great to see the fans already in the grandstands, having enjoyed a Formula 3 race just earlier on, now getting ready for what should be an exciting Porsche Super Cup qualifying session. Cannot wait for this one to get underway. It's also great to finally be able to broadcast you a Porsche Super Cup qualifying session, thanks to Wesman55, who does a lot of BBC Radio 5 live commentaries. He posts them on YouTube for all the sessions. So a huge thank you to him for sending this over, so we're able to broadcast the Super Cup as well. You cannot see live timings for now, but that is going to change. I believe that is just due to how the Super Cup does it. It is quite unfortunate, but we don't have the best technology with the Porsche Super Cup. Very limited, let's just say. Which shouldn't be a surprise when it's not broadcasted live in the UK, and lots of people cannot even watch this championship. A hard one to follow, but it should be a bit more easier this weekend. We've got a title fight coming our way as well, but it should be easier for us in the commentary box, as we have got an idea of what's happened in qualifying, as we can see what's going on right now. And right now the green light is on at the end of the pit lane, and the session is underway. Hopefully the live timings will come on, but I have been told that they don't really come on until we see the drivers coming across the line. So now they're heading onto the circuit, but we won't even see them come up now. So it's just how it works in the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup. But they're on to the circuit as we make our way through turn number 1, the Rettifilio chicane. Very interesting championship battle as well. This weekend has 32 drivers, the largest grid of the 2024 Porsche Super Cup season as well. So we've got 32 in the field. You'll be able to see them right here. Nope, other way. There we go. I'm still not doing it the right way. There we go. That's better. You'll be able to see it right there when in about a few minutes, when they come across the line, you can hear, of course, the cars out there on the circuit. What I was trying to say is, below us, of course, you've got all of the information on how the drivers have performed so far this season, or the drivers who've had some accolades this year. You have the pole position information, fastest lap, winning driver, and of course the team that they drive for as well. And then you also do have the drivers championship, which is right next to me. So the drivers standings. And then right below it, you have the Rookies Championship as well, which is heating up. Cass Havercourt and Robert Dehan. Yesterday in practice, it was Robert Dehan who had the advantage. So let's see whether Cass Havercourt can try turn that around, because he doesn't want to be on the back foot when he's got the championship lead. So an interesting qualifying session, lots to look out for. And then, of course, keeping an eye on Harry King and Larry Tenfora. If Larry Tenfora does have a bad weekend, it completely changes the championship standings. If he, for example, does not score some decent points and Harry King is able to get a win, which wouldn't be surprising, we've seen it previously in the Super Cup that if you have a bad qualifying, you can struggle to make your way through the field. So that is definitely a possibility as well. Robert Dehan, the rookie, has done very well so far this season, as you can see in the Rookie Championship. So it's a great way to reflect on how their seasons have been coming into the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup Championship. Cass Havercourt, of course, our leader in the championship. The World Feed picture is also showing us it right while I'm talking about it, which is absolutely brilliant as well. So Cass Havercourt had 3 seasons in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, and it's a weird route. It is a weird route for a driver like for drivers coming from the single-seater categories to come into the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup, and that is what Cass Havercourt has elected. It's not rare. We have seen it. We've seen Joey Mawson. He used to race in Formula 3 or GP3 as well. He went to the Porsche Super Cup for a little while. I believe he's doing NASCAR or something now. I don't cover NASCAR, so I wouldn't personally be able to tell you that. They're coming across the line now, but I believe it's next lap around where the lap times will come on the timing. So yeah, Porsche Super Cup doesn't have the best of systems, let's just say, where it doesn't even show the drivers who are all competing in this one. Great to also have Bertinelli back. So we have Bertinelli back, one of the guest drivers for this weekend. We welcome back Victor Bernier to this one as well, and then we'll be able to work out who else is joining us this weekend in the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup. As of course the graphic mentioned earlier, 32 drivers, the most that the Porsche Super Cup has seen throughout its 2024 campaign. It's been a brilliant 2024 campaign. It started off of course with Larry Tenfora domination. It continued all the way through. Qualifying was close, as you can see from the results right there, but it is time for, as we we won't be able to hear. Oh, we will. Hold on. Let's hear from Davide.
That for a lot of meters before the following corners, and that makes the track really challenging. Now we have a new tarmac, new curbs, so a new condition for everyone. It will be an extra challenge for that, and the high-speed braking is always is a task over there.
Yeah, apologies for that. I wasn't aware whether it was actually going to play or not. Because of course I don't know how live F1 TV sessions work as well. So we've got the live timings on the world feed now. But yeah, I wasn't aware because we cut to it. I thought we were gonna hear it, but then it didn't play. It didn't hear it, but that was a delay from themselves in getting the audio out. So we weren't able to hear it, and we will be able to hear the radios. I am aware of that. But yes, good thing we can also hear the interview. So everything, of course, that the commentators Chris McCarthy does not make, we're able to hear just as usual, basically, just like we would usually have it. But luckily, I just have to stand here, and I get to enjoy it as well as we now make our way through. Then, so we make our way through. It is the drivers coming across the line. Alessandro Giretti is one of the first drivers to start his lap time. The Schumacher CLRT driver. And he is in the number 11 as he makes his way down towards the second chicane. And he's pushing on. And he's up by 6.4 seconds. Immediately beaten by King, who I believe is the car directly ahead. It's always amazing to see these Porsche Super Cup cars mounting over the curbs. And that is finally something that I'm able to enjoy. It is definitely great to see as they all come across the line as well. Very, very shortly. The rest of them all beginning their laps. Giretti making his way down towards the Ascari chicane, while Harry King is the driver who's gone purple in the first sector. So he's gone purple in the first sector. Giretti is also going nicely as well, but not as nicely as Harry King. Harry King is absolutely flying out there on the circuit. So it is definitely great to see that Harry King is pushing on. And he's going very, very nicely, as I mentioned. Giretti's backed out of it. He's given Harry King the position as we make our way now to the Parabolica. And it's foot to the floor all the way towards the line for Harry King. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. He's being beaten by Robert DeHaan, second in the Rookies Championship. Let's see. Harry King then comes across the line. And he's going to set the time. Van Eyndenhoven going to second. Make that third because Robert DeHaan goes to the front of the field. Jalbert to P4. Then it's Havercourt in fifth. Marvin Klin goes to 7th position as well. Zendelli, another driver who was formerly racing in the single-seaters, has done Formula 2. He's done Formula 3. Now he's here in the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. So it's Zendelli moving through as well. Let's take a look at a replay. There's a spin there as well. And that is going to be for Aldo Frestante, I believe, is it? Yeah, it is Aldo Frestante, who has gone around in the number 7. So that's him. That's his lap gone, and a lot of gravel coming onto the circuit due to it. He wasn't the only one going round. That was one of the new drivers for this weekend. Paolo losing it through the Rettifilio chicane. As we watch Aldo Frestante once again. And he's got some smoke coming from the back of the car. Is that the rear tyre? Has he made it back to the pit lane? There he is. And I believe he might have a puncture. There's smoke coming. There is smoke coming for Aldo Frestante. He could have a puncture here.
Puncture, I'm coming back to the pit, puncture. I have a puncture.
Well, you can hear it there. Aldo Frestante does have a puncture. Disappointment for him. After the moment we just saw, it seems like he has got a puncture to the car, so he's going to have to dive it back into the pit lane with 22 minutes on the clock to go. So you can see the order right now. So we're going to take another look at a replay of this one. He's going to mount it over the curb massively. Now, these Porsche cars do usually mount it over the curb like that. But a little bit more for him this time. And he's not the only one. His teammates done the exact same thing. Okay, so also losing it was Francesco Braschi in the number 8. So he has gone round. So a very dramatic Porsche Super Cup session so far, as Larry Tenfora makes his way through. Here is our championship leader. What is he going to be able to do? I believe he might just be finishing or starting a new lap as he comes over the line. Keegan Masters was able to go to second as well. Spring goes to P10. Larry Tenfora begins a lap now. Borakamps to 19th, make that 20th now. As we've seen another improvement come on this circuit. Down through the Rettifilio chicane we go, with Larry Tenfora, the Dutch driver, trying to take the championship once again in the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. And DeHaan is 1/10 away. So it's DeHaan, then Keegan Masters, then King, then Huub van Eyndenhoven, Jalbert in 5th. The driver was getting his elbows out quite a bit last time out at Zandvoort. As Larry Tenfora makes his way through, 12 thousandths up. 12 milliseconds up. Oh, dipping a tyre into the gravel though on the exit. Before he gets to Lismo 1. Lismo 2 as well coming up for him. As he gets back on the power, does Larry Tenfora. Is he going to be able to keep this lap together? As he makes his way down towards the Ascari chicane. Does Tenfora, hoping that he is able to get up there. That's where his rival is so far. So he's 2.5 tenths down by the time that he cuts the beam for the middle sector. Giretti goes to the top. Huub van Eyndenhoven up to second. Then Harry King moves up to 3rd position. Still a 10th between 1st and 2nd. Jalbert has been able to improve his time to 5th. Havercourt to 8th. Klin beats him. So does Iaquinta. Iaquinta to 7th. Klin to 8th position. Marvin Klin, of course, has stood as the pole sitter twice this season, and has started as the pole sitter as well, and he's hoping to get there once again. Levy moves to 5th. Tauscher goes to 8th. What can Larry Tenfora do across the line? Only good enough for 9th. Only good enough for 9th. for Larry Tenforder. And he is nearly 4 tenths away. Aldo Fastante's damage is being looked at. The Dynamic Motorsports driver, not with the time due to that puncture. They will try getting back out there for a run right at the end of this session. Huub van Eindhoven though, phenomenal effort to go up to 2nd place. And he is a 10th. Oh wait, 100 separating Huub van Eindhoven and Harry King. But Van Eindhoven is not done yet. He's going quickest of all in the first sector. King is improving as well. And I think King is directly the car behind. Yes, he is. So these two, we're going to see the improvement together. And King is actually looking at the time of Giretti. So Harry King trying to put the pressure on the time of Giretti. So is Van Eindhoven. But King is just going that little bit quicker in the middle sector. Let's see whether he can continue it. In the 3rd sector, however, that's where it is going to be critical. Bring it to the final corner on this circuit. The GP Elite driver, Huub van Eindhoven, has done a brilliant job last time out at Zandvoort. What is he going to be able to do this time in qualifying at Monza? Over the line. He goes, and he goes to the top. He goes to the top, and Harry King cannot beat him. He's down by a 10th. It's Huub van Eindhoven who moves up to 1st. King in 2nd. Then Giretti, Jalbert in 4th. So he's been improving his time constantly. Giretti comes into the pit lane, but it's Huub van Eindhoven who's been able to go to the front of the field by a 10th of a second. Incredible stuff there. As we take a look at a replay with Cas Havercourt. Do the Ascari chicane, and that's going to be off. That is going to be off. Into the gravel trap. And he'll rejoin with Cas Havercourt. Oh, was that into the path? Was that into the path of another car, though? That is Marvin Klin. Oh, that is going to get super tired as he brings so much gravel back onto the circuit. Nearly rejoining. Klin definitely had to take some sort of avoiding action. My God, look at that gravel on the circuit. Well, we did talk about earlier on this weekend in Formula 3 practice, the first session that got us underway this weekend. We did talk about me and Joshua Birch. We did mention about how, well, we've got a lot of gravel, but we need to find a way to make sure that it stays there. Because we've already seen, I think, 2 red flags so far. Still with F1 to go, of course, F1, their qualifying session to go as well. So we've seen 2 red flags so far due to it. So it is definitely causing issues with sessions having to be stopped due to the gravel. Harry King makes his way up towards the Parabolica, and he's about to go towards the line. Let's see what Harry King can do. He's decided to continue on. Is he going to be able to displace Huub van Eindhoven at the front of the field? Here comes the Lechner Racing man towards the line. Harry King takes it away by a 10th of a second. It's now King into P1 as Huub van Eindhoven dives it into the pit lane. Harry King, though, doing the best he can. Harry King doing the best he can. All he can do is finish in first and see what happens to his title rival Larry Tenforder. Zendelli moves up to P14. Here comes Larry Tenforder then, up towards the line. We've just seen his championship rival go up to 1st. Can Tenforder try and get close to it? As now Tenforder is going to go to 5th, the fastest last sector. He's had a personal best in the 1st, slow in the 2nd. The purple, the fastest we've seen in the 3rd part of the lap of any other driver. But it's only good enough when you add it all up to be 5th position. And he is nearly 3 tenths behind a 1 minute 48.596. So interesting stuff there. Larry Tenforder, we're very used to seeing Larry Tenforder straight away, straight to the top. Not this time around though. Not this time around. If we compare the sector times between King and Tenforder, 3 tenths faster in the 1st sector is King, 1 tenth in the 2nd sector, still faster is King, and Larry Tenforder does his magic in the 3rd sector. But that's pointless if you're losing so much time in the 1st and 2nd. So that's what he's going to try and work on. And we just make him making his way through the Della Roggia chicane. And he was massively over the curbs. And in the Porsche Super Cup, I don't cover a qualifying. I've never covered a qualifying before. In the UK, no one's ever seen a qualifying before. To be able to judge whether he's lost time due to it. Or is that just showing how large the curb, how the bumps are, how the curbs are taken on the circuit, I should say. The reason I'm getting distracted and stumbling is because I've just seen a red flag, and I'm unsure due to the reason why. I don't think there's a car stopped on the circuit. The camera, though, is panning over to the incredible amount of gravel that we've got on the circuit. That will explain it. Not surprised to make it three red flags due to gravel on the circuit. So the marshals will get to work on that. They will sweep that, and then we will be able to continue on going and see who's going to be on pole. This is very fun. Very fun. As well as we make our way through then. So it's Harry King who's at the front of the field. Van Eidenhoven in second, Gueretti in third. The picture's momentarily cut off. They're back together now. All that matters. All that matters. Fans continuing to fill in, of course, for the F1 qualifying later. They've got an F2 sprint to enjoy as well, along with FP3. Which, when this comes out, of course, all would be done. All would be done. So hopefully you enjoyed watching all of those sessions as well. The fans, though, even if we have a red flag, the fans still enjoying themselves in the grandstands. The atmosphere is one of the best that we get all season. It's an amazing venue to come to. As we look at the Leclerc Racing man, the fastest man on the circuit, the man hoping to be the champion driver by the end of this weekend. But even though we're hyping it up a lot, he needs a lot to happen for it to be the case. He needs Larry Tenford to have the worst weekend he's ever had in the Super Cup, most likely. Of course, we haven't been able to watch every Super Cup, and I can't find old stuff on it because really the Super Cup, it doesn't really, as I mentioned, it's not really good with socials and all that. So, and of course the broadcasters, unless you now on F1 TV, of course, you do have all the footage from the previous years, but it wasn't broadcast on F1 TV before a few years. Let's hear from Oliver Schwab.
Interesting races. We were part of absolutely iconic race events. We were part of the Formula One World Championship. We had absolutely nail-biting duels on the circuit, and we've seen this in all kinds of weather conditions and all kinds of conditions around the circuit. And well, we've had really the best teams and drivers of the one-make world racing in the Super Cup, and we can't wait now to see what the finale in Monza has prepared for us.
So the project manager of the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup, talking there as well as the brilliant atmosphere at Monza continues. Great to see, great to already see such a packed grandstand everywhere we look. The Ferrari fans stand expected for a good performance from Ferrari, of course, in F1. In the Porsche Super Cup, I think they'll be rooting on anyone and everyone as well. Even if they don't usually watch the Porsche Super Cup, if you are going to a circuit, you are spending money, make the most of the experience. The Porsche racing can be very fun to watch. Like, from what I've been told, is someone told me who'd been to, it was Hungary earlier this year. The Porsche Mobile One Super Cup was the most fun to watch because everyone kept banging doors and doing all sorts. So it was the most fun thing to watch. So, yeah. Do enjoy. You don't know what you'll be treated to. And even if we may have had Larry Tenford win so much this season, the racing behind, we don't get to see a lot of it on camera as well. There's a lot that goes on behind, further back, which you'll of course be able to enjoy. So plenty of action. Now, it is the 31st of August, and we haven't mentioned it all day so far on JB Motorsports, but I think, as I've just remembered, it would be an ideal moment to mention. Today marks 5 years since Antoine Hubert lost his life, to the date, of course, as well, and it left the Formula 2 paddock shocked on that day. It was a very horrible day and weekend for Formula 2 and for everyone in motorsport involved. It was a huge shock because you wouldn't expect anything like this to happen, but there is still risk in motorsport, as proven last year. You can add the hater, you can add what you want, the risk will always be there in motorsport. So it was definitely a very sad moment, but Antoine Hubert, he was a champion in F4, a champion in F3, he won 2 races in F2, one at Monaco in a drag race to the line in the closest finish that we've seen in Formula 2 between the top two. and then a victory on home soil as well. And he was on his way to Formula 1, but unfortunately he won't be able to get there now. But luckily he will be able to watch with the rest of us and watch the drivers who have the same passion as him, and watch them progress and try and achieve the dream that he had. And Formula 2 will make sure that Anton Hubert is remembered forever. Such a talented driver. It's sad we weren't able to see what what his journey would have been like. But now everyone in motorsport, the next generation, all will carry Antoine's memory and do what he dreamed of and make it to Formula 1, which of course we're getting a lot of promotions to Formula 1 as well. By the way, the session's back underway. Session is back underway. Live timings are back. Yeah, so they disappeared during the red flags. I noticed that sooner when I was talking about Hubert. But yeah, I didn't want to interrupt myself basically. But yeah, the timings, they are back with you. So Harry King trying to take his second pole position, Marvin Klein trying to take his third. Larry Tenforda is going to be trying to take his fifth pole. Whether it's races, whether it's poles, he has had so many. And it's been a phenomenal season from Larry Tenforda. As we take a look at him. Inside the car, getting all set, getting all ready, getting all prepared for what will be one of the most crucial qualifying sessions in his life. It is all on the line. If he isn't able to secure a good result here, he leaves himself vulnerable. Harry King's currently in first. If Tenforda finds himself outside in the mid-pack, you know how the mid-pack is in the Porsche Supercar at Monza. It is completely wild. We get one of the most craziest races, like Formula 3 has. I think this is why it's a perfect venue to end off Formula 3 in the Porsche Supercar, because there's always just something crazy and wild. Like, for example, I remember last year in the Supercar, cars spinning around, we were acting like it's normal because it kept happening every second, and half the spins we weren't even able to see because there was constant action. You weren't with how hard the Porsche Supercup is to identify the cars. Cars were going everywhere, and we were trying to work out, is that Bastian Buus? It is. Bastian Buus has been sent round, of course, the champion from last season. But yeah, it is definitely very, very tricky to call a Porsche Supercup race around Monza. It is definitely pretty wild and pretty crazy. And yeah, so continuing with my point, of course, it could mean that Larry Tenforda does get himself caught up if he does not have a good qualifying result, and that could blow the championship wide open. If Larry Tenforda falls all the way to the back, King is in first, there you go. So it can all change around like that. And I think it's the final race. I think everyone's going to be going aggressive. Tenforda is going to be the one being careful, and if you're the one who's being passed left, right, centre and being mugged everywhere, then you know how that ends. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. This is why I'm really, really excited for the Super Cup race tomorrow. There is huge smoke. What has happened there? The marshals are getting all set. I can see one getting prepared, trying to see what the smoke is all about in the pit lane. What on earth was that? We weren't able to see it. All I saw is plumes of smoke. So not really helpful. Not very helpful for us to try and work that out. 11 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock to go, as the cars come back onto the circuit to decide who is going to be taking pole position. No points to be won for pole, but it can go a long way in deciding who's going to be the winner. I think with Porsche Supercar at Monza, we're going to see more opportunities for overtakes and battling. I think, yeah, that is definitely for sure. We're going to get more opportunities. We're definitely going to get more and more opportunities for overtaking compared to some of the other races we've seen so far. But it is still the Porsche Supercar. It's still a little bit tricky to overtake. Of course, everything else around this circuit is using DRS. Formula 3, Formula 2, Formula 1. Formula 2 and Formula 3, though, had an absolutely thrilling contest earlier on. So make sure you join us across that as well. If you haven't already watched it, of course, this would be out once it's all finished. So make sure you watch that. JB, by the way, if you're interested in MotoGP content, as I know there might be a few people just putting on this, trying to ask where is MotoGP. It's on JB2. So on JB Motorsports 2, that's where if you want to watch MotoGP, and also its support series, Moto3 and Moto2 is live tomorrow as well. So if you want to watch all of the bike stuff and you're interested in the MotoGP stuff, JB Motorsports 2 is the place to be. And yeah, I'll be taking you through the Porsche Super Cup race tomorrow, along with Jess, who's kindly offered to join me as well. That's Jaap van Lagen, I believe, who's gone off to the Parabolica, but continuing now. Yep, indeed. And then join us for the F3 final for, this is of course on the channel this is going out on, JB Motorsports. Join us for the F3 title decider. It is still wide open, it's still completely crazy. It's going to be the most unbelievable championship decider, we hope. And join us for Formula 2, of course, for another thrilling race. And then the Porsche Super Cup final as well, and the F1 Grand Prix. Now, Jaap van Lagen's hit the barrier, and the advertising boards have come off, but the barrier isn't that damaged. But I believe the car's taken a bit of a shunt in there. How on earth did he continue to go there? I think we are seeing so many cars off through that part of the lap, which I'm kind of happy about, because I'd say it would make Antonelli feel a bit better, seeing that other F1 drivers are struggling. Formula 2, Formula 3, Porsche, everyone is struggling through that part. Even Bert Malander crashed, of course, you know, it has context for it, but still, there's been a lot that's happened at Parabolica in terms of crashing. There will be lots of action everywhere on this circuit as well, as we, well, are all down the backstreet. We're not doing a slipstream games like Formula 3 were yesterday. I'm surprised Formula 2 behaved themselves, to be fair. I think they were told. To, well, sort it out. Which, in my opinion, I didn't really enjoy the Formula 3 format. I think if it was a bit longer for each group, maybe it would have worked. But 13 minutes, one shot, just red flags and everything. You're always going to get that. And then, of course, they were misbehaving with the slipstream as well. But yeah, at least Formula 2 had its own little level of drama, but nothing slipstream related. Of course, you had a few drivers wanting the tow. Of course, you're always going to get that. But just a little bit less. Like they would at every other circuit. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen in Formula 1 qualifying yet. So, it does mean that we'll work out and see what happens in Formula 1. Porsche behaving themselves well. They are all in a train, but no one's doing let's back off for the tow and stuff like that. Yet, let me just add. But of course, the slipstream is a little bit less in the Porsche Super Cup anyway. So, you don't really get a strong tow in the Super Cup like the other series. So, it's not really worth it. Especially if you are faster than the car ahead. Like, for example, the gaps are big. You've got many caliber drivers. Cas Harcourt leads Robert Dehan in the Rookie Championship as well. As you can see there, 6 points separating Dehan and Cas Harcourt. I mentioned that because it came up, of course, on the screen. So that's an interesting scrap to keep an eye on as well. You have the main championship. You have the Rookies Championship, which we'll definitely be putting attention to tomorrow. We have to say also congratulations to Schumacher CLRT. They have taken the team's championship of 2024 due to the craziness of Zandvoort and all the broadcasting that was going on. We weren't able to tell you that live. We had to go off air very quickly so we could cover some other motorsport series. But yes, congratulations to them. Fantastic season. And they're about to begin some laps. Now, they were becoming a bit crazy.
I don't know what Marvin is doing, but it's dangerous.
There we go, yeah. So while I was mentioning that, I'm not going to praise them anymore because now they're being a bit naughty on the circuit. We're putting our foot to the floor then. 6 minutes on the clock to go. It is time to decide who's going to be on pole position. They are all doing the slipstream games a little bit. Not Formula 3 level, but it will start to get dangerous if they all do back off. Into turn number 1 we go, with Alessandro Giretti, followed closely by Larry Tenfora. Then Huub van Eindhoven as well, pushing on. Some of them are very close to each other, to a point where they'll start racing each other on this lap. There's a huge lockup in the background. Huge lockup by one of the cars, going down to the Rettifilia chicane. That was much further back, so we weren't able to see that. We're focused on the Casa Grande, but we could see in the background shot of the cars going down to the Rettifilo. 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go. As we make our way through. On the out lap. Getting ready for the push lap. Getting ready to decide who's going to be on pole position for this race. We take a look at a replay. This is the lockup I saw right in the background. Who's it going to be? It is going to be Giuseppe Guerrieri, who was the car, the number 28, locking up on the run to the first turn as well. Oh, they're racing. It's only qualifying, but they're racing in the background. And that is going to be one of the Lechner racing cars. Couldn't see which one it is, trying to defend. Well, they are starting to race. Here we go then. They're battling into Lisma 1. Well, guys, provide some of that tomorrow for us. Not right now. They're all in the train. We look now to the front of the field once again with Alessandro Giretti. Van Legen failing to enter the pit after being through the gravel trap. And due to it, he is going to be under investigation as well. Here we go then across the line. Larry Tenford is quickest of all in the middle sector. Giretti comes across the line. He goes fastest of all. It's Tenford who moves on to second place. Marvin Klin puts Schumacher CLRT in the top 7 as well. So we have 3 cars from them in the top 7. Brilliant stuff there. As we get now a dramatic conclusion once again to the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup. But Larry Tenford finds himself ahead. That's all he needs. All he needs. He finds himself ahead. He can even be a few places behind. But it's all okay. But you don't want to go too far back in the mid-pack in the Super Cup. That's all I'm going to say. It can end in tears. And it usually does, especially around a circuit like this. Look further back. Who are we looking for here then? Klin. So if you have synced up with us, Marvin Klin going through the runoff at the Rettifilo chicane. Here we go then. Continue on the attack. Cas Havercourt is going quickest of all in the first sector. The driver who was through the gravel at the Ascari chicane now pushing on. Borakamps goes to P9. Good improvement from the GP Elite man. The other GP Elite man is quickest of all. Cas Havercourt heading down towards the Ascari chicane. The part of the circuit where he went wide. But he's very nearly 6/10 faster this time around. That is absolutely incredible stuff from Cas Havercourt, who is wringing the neck of the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car as we make our way down towards the parabolic of the final time. Giretti is allowing his teammate through. Larry Tenford is going to have the chance to challenge his teammate. It is going to be Larry Tenford trying to take his 5th pole position of the season. Here he comes up towards the line. Is he going to be able to get there? Larry Tenford crosses the line, and it is going to be, it's not going to be an improvement from him. As we see, Cas Havercourt, the man who was through the gravel at the Ascari chicane, right at the end of the session, has put the car at the front of the field, and it's Cas Havercourt as it stands on pole position. What a lap from Cas Havercourt to get there. 2 minutes on the clock to go. Still time for someone to displace him. But the man who was through the gravel trap earlier on in the session, struggling to get a clean lap on the board, has now got a lap that has taken him to the front of the field. Superb stuff from Cas Havercourt. Incredible. Harry King in 6th right now. Robert Dehan went to 2nd.
Stupid, we're in the middle of it, idiot.
King not happy. I don't know why the world feed pictures are doing. This is why the Porsche Super Cup, it's hard to follow because now they've taken the leaderboard away. So I'm having to look at the live timings as well. Van Eindhoven up to the line he goes. What can he do? He stays in P7. He stays in P7. He's 4/10 off the lap of Cas Havercourt. Is there anyone else finding an improvement? Right here, right now, in this session, Larry Tenford. He is 6/10 away from Cas Havercourt. We've got our order back. It's Havercourt, Dehan, Giretti, Tenford, Alexander Tauscher in 5th. Giretti is trying to improve in the first sector. He will try and challenge the lap of Cas Havercourt now. Tenford not improving in both sectors. Giretti is getting the slipstream off his Schumacher CLRT teammate. Masters is improving in the middle sector as well. 40 seconds to go on the clock. It's Havercourt who leads Dehan in the Rookies Championship. He currently leads him on the timing page as well. What can the Schumacher CLRT cars do in response? They're currently 3rd and 4th. Can they improve that? As Larry Tenford comes across the line, he is not going to be able to improve. Neither does Giretti. They're both of the times of Cass Havercourt. Is there anyone else? Masters in 8th still. He cannot find an improvement. No one able to find anything to displace the order. Oh! Car into the wall. Car into the wall. Is that Guerrieri, who has found the barrier? We're waiting for official confirmation over house to 15th. It is Giuseppe Guerrieri, who's found the wall at the end of the session to surely bring an end. Dehan has crossed the checkered flag. Iaquinta finds the lap before the red flag comes out. Iaquinta, Jalbert to 10th. Bernier to 16th. Harry King is in 6th. He is behind his title rival. Let's hear from him.
Yellows, I had a yellow flag. Come on, come on.
That's heartbreaking. Harry King was pushing on, but the yellow flags came out due to Guerrieri crashing. The checkered flag is being waved, and that is going to confirm it. That is going to confirm it. Cass Havercourt, the man who spent 3 seasons in FRECA, did not decide to continue in the single-seater. He did not decide to continue in single-seaters. He's instead decided to go into the Porsche Super Cup Championship. He goes past the stricken car of Guerrieri. He'll be happy that Guerrieri found the wall because it has confirmed him pole position. It's Cass Havercourt on pole with Dehan in 2nd. And those are the top 2 debating the Rookie Championship as well. That's the amazing thing of it. So, this is going to be fun tomorrow. We're going to have the 2 drivers debating the Rookie Championship on the front row. And Havercourt has got the advantage. Oh my god, what happened for Giuseppe Guerrieri there? Did everything just explode at the front? He's got a puncture. Okay, so he's got a puncture, but what caused it? Interesting. Interesting stuff indeed. In the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. And they all return back to the support pit lane. They're all... Now we've got a bit of a traffic jam as they all wait. I think someone may have got stuck in rotating the car possibly. So they're all going to get in a queue, get ready, get set. As we watch Hugo van Eindhoven contending at the front a little bit earlier on. He's ended up in 7th though. What a lap from Cass Havercourt though. The rookie. It's a rookie front row as I mentioned. The 2 drivers debating the Rookie Championship. They found the improvement when they needed to. Havercourt from the gravel to pole.
No! Why? What position? Yeah, unsure. Provisional pole, but it's because of sector 1.
Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Provisional pole. They say to him. We'll wait for official confirmation as well if anything is going to change. For now though, we will wait. We'll of course confirm any changes in the Porsche Super Cup race tomorrow before we go on. So don't worry. Do not worry one bit. As we look down at the pit wall of GP Elite, who have taken their man to the front of the field. They're sitting on the Red Bull pit wall. Harry King in 6th. Let's hear from him.
What a mess. The car performance was great. You cannot put me out in a clear pit of traffic. The guys just mess everything up in front.
Well, he thanks them for giving them a fast car. But they put him out in traffic. Where it's all scrubbling. And he knows that he had the pace to go first. He can't complain if he gets pole, gets the race win. He can only dream of things happening to Larry Tenforda behind. Instead, though, he's the one who's behind Larry Tenforda, and he couldn't have afforded that at all. Let's confirm the full order for you. Cass Havercourt on pole position for the first time in the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. Absolutely incredible stuff from him. Dehan in 2nd, Guerrieri in 3rd, Tenforda, Tauscher, Harry King will go from 6th, Hugo van Eindhoven, Keegan Masters, Ario Levy, Matisse Jalbert. An interesting top 10, but Cass Havercourt, brilliant. From the gravel to pole position, Tenforda will go from 4th. He'll be trying to keep his nose clean. Harry King will be hoping to try get to the front of the field. 11th, Jaap van Lagen, then Marvin Clint, Simone Iaquinta, Boerkamps, Theo Overhaus with a late lap for 15th. Victor Bernier on his return as well after missing Zandvoort. Fremont, Rose, Armani, I should say, and Lirim Zendelli, a driver who's driven here previously in Formula 2 and Formula 3, ending up in 20th. in the Super Cup qualifying at Monza, Vukov, Bertinelli, Fastante, Braschi, Krasmini, Imparato, Febelmeyer, Lindland, Shahin and Giuseppe Guerrieri, bringing a close to the session a few seconds earlier as he had a crash. Well, it's been great to broadcast the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup qualifying session to you. We thank you for joining us here as well for Monza. Make sure you join us for all of the action tomorrow when we crown a champion. Will it be Larry Tenforder who keeps his nose clean and finishes high to get the championship, or will there be some other drama? It's the Super Cup, anything's possible, and we're racing at Monza for the final. Round 8, the final race of the year, comes your way tomorrow when the Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup returns. Goodbye.